All right, how you doing today? So I saw an article that I just thought that was eyebrow raising about a young man. He's about 55 now, named Boris Becker, the tennis player. And I'm thinking, if you wasn't in that era, you didn't grow up around that the 70s, maybe 80s, 90s, or if you're a tennis aficionado or tennis player, you probably don't know about this guy. But actually used to watch tennis though. I used to watch guys like McEnroe and Sampras and this guy Boris Becker here. Okay, I watched those two guys go at it, and he had a very successful career. Okay, he was the first to win the Wimbledon at 17 years old. He's won 6 Grand Slam championships. The man was very, very good. Okay, I didn't really know he was that good, and I think that he had came out at a time where Germany was a communist country. It was like in the middle 80s when you started hearing about this guy. Okay, that's when his success started becoming prevalent, and I think a lot of people had fell in love with him, and they probably started having a different perspective about, Germany when it was communist. Okay, about the people and so forth. That they're all right, then the people are not bad. All right. He's got a lot of swag about himself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he got the cool little stripy suits and the shades and all that. And, he does like sisters. He got his children, biracial children. But he does have a beautiful family. Now, I don't want to talk about the bad about the man, but I think that I do have to use this story as a precautionary tale of when you overindulge in lust, and also things like, the good life and women and so forth. All right. And every man struggles with lust, okay, or struggle with that. I'm a man, but it's one of the things you cannot put women, money, and that type of stuff on a pedestal, because you will end up broke. All right. And it's really, disheartening to hear about the story and to tell you this, okay, about Boris Becker. And yeah, he liked the ladies, okay, pretty sure he did. Again, at the time, he was probably the most popular man, one of the most popular men in the world. The young lady that he's got right now, she'll find a little sister, probably about 35, 40. Looks probably the model type. That's what he likes. Hey, what you like is what you like. Now, let's get into Boris Becker here. This guy ended up being about $100 million in debt, okay? I don't know how much money he made. I'm assuming that he probably made at least the same amount, okay? But there's a law called the Insurgency Act, and I'm gonna get into that here in a second. But he ended up being bankrupt. All right. Now, I didn't even know about the guy being bankrupt, and what he was doing is he was accepting cash and stocks. It was something like $50,000 pounds, which is 100,000. It's pretty much $2 on £1 now, and also 70,000 pounds in stocks. So that's $140,000 in a separate bank account without knowledge. I guess, again, and this Insurgency Act is when, if you're in bankruptcy, you have to report that monies, because that monies is supposed to be contributed to the money that you owe in bankruptcy and so forth. Okay, so I don't know the type that he has in bankruptcy, but they need to know, because that money, even though you may be set free, but you're not set free, because they're going to take a good chunk of that money to satisfy that debt. It is what it is. And you know what I think about this case here, and when I think about Johnny Depp, I think that they're using these white men, okay, with swag, maybe because they didn't come up the way the powers that be wanted them to come up. All right, and they're basically making examples out of these old white guys. You got to kind of even the playing field, all right, for people like R. Kelly or Bill Cosby and that type of thing, okay. But they really don't care, all right. I mean, I hate to tell you, but they really don't care about their own. I really do think that. I really do think that this is a humiliation ritual. I saw one of the articles that said, you know, well, you have to get humiliated to go through lessons and so forth. Okay, something to that effect. In one of the art, so this is one of the incident that's strategically designed and so forth. Okay, to make an example out of him. But he's going to jail for 2.5 years from this incident. He went to the police station. He's somewhere in Europe. I believe he's still in Germany, and turned himself in. He'll be doing that time for its bankruptcy fraud and the Insurgency Act. Okay, so that's one thing you need to think about when you file for bankruptcy, depending on what type of that you file. Okay, they got the bankruptcy protection, the bankruptcy, and I believe it's a chapter 13 where you pay off in installments. Okay, but they need to know how much money that you make and so forth, and they account for that for as long as you on bankruptcy, which is on your credit report between 7 to 10 years. So keep that in mind. And also another thing, yeah, that he liked the lavish life, but this is probably a combination of his lifestyle, bad investments that pretty much led him to a world of poverty. And I've said that before when I talked about Deshaun Watson. Okay, in Proverbs it does say that those who chase harlots, okay, wine and harlots, will end up in a world of poverty. Okay, you can see that. All right, and this is a prime example from Boris Becker. As much as, you know, I've enjoyed him watch tennis, we have to use this for a lesson. Okay, to take care of your money a little bit better. I mean, it's probably all right to love, but it's probably best to find other ways to express your love for a woman, or to channel that lust into something more productive where you can make money and not lose it. You know, something to stimulate thought here and something to think about. Let me know what you think about this video here. All right, peace.